Okay. Hello everyone. As some of you may know, I'm Vixey, which is short for Victoria, and this is my new art channel, so welcome. What we're going to do here is stop saying all the time, for starters, and I'm just going to show you this is some of the acrylic abstract artwork that I've previously done. In fact, this was my first piece. I had quite a dramatic beginning being introduced into the world of art. When I was in university I was studying art, but I was studying arts humanities, which is slightly different from, you know, painting and crafts kind of art. It's more of a, I guess, philosophical point of view, you know, just generally like stuff like literature, which I majored in literature in the end, but I was also studying IT, and as part of the orientation day festivities, you usually do have like some sporting games and stuff to, like, you know, get to know everyone. And this wasn't my first orientation. I had actually been studying at uni for a couple of years at that point. But during one of the festivities, we had a trust exercise where you run around with a blindfold, which is always a bad idea for me because I'm so uncoordinated and like. Long story short, I kind of have trust issues now. But with this blindfold thing, you're supposed to trust your partner to guide you across the field, and you're supposed to run up, touch the post, the goal post, and then run back. And during this exercise, we were told not to run. Okay, everyone was told not to run. Of course, everybody ran, and this really big guy, he got to the post first, but then he turned around and started running the other way. And my partner was just like, "Oh no, Pinky!" Well, my nickname was Pinky back then because obviously I love the color pink. And the guy just ran straight into me, like he just clobbered me. People were saying that like he clotheslined me, I think was the term. He like just push. And I got hit so hard that I collapsed on the grass. Like my head hit the ground so hard that I completely passed out. People were saying that was like, I mean, I was passed out, so I had no idea what was going on. Everything was like completely blank to me. But years later, a few of my friends have retold the story from their point of view, and they were all like super worried because I was out for like a good 20 minutes. People were saying it was like 20, almost 30 minutes, and that even one of my classmates actually gave me mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. So like I was dead. Like she brought me back to life. And the thing is, I don't even know who it was. So if this person like knows out there, like thank you for totally saving my life. And I wish I knew who you were so that I could actually thank you in person. So I had amnesia for 2 weeks afterwards. That was how bad like this clobbering was. I was totally concussed. But that prompted me to walk into my friend's art class and just pick up a paintbrush. And this happened. As you can see, really vibrant strokes from the bottom here. I really like this like drippy effect that I got. And well, I just felt like, you know, I had spent so much of my life to that point studying really hard, being a real brainiac, being like super nerdy. I mean, I'm Asian and kind of nerdy. So I have been very like logical minded and very like, you know how you kind of I wouldn't say egotistical, because egotistical is like, but I was like conscious. I was like really conscious about what other people thought, particularly my very traditional Asian parents, and just like the pressures of society and like what was expected of me from my boyfriend and his family and all that sort of thing. But like, because I had complete amnesia, I basically forgot all that stuff. Like, just completely lost the ego and everything, and just totally forgot about all the like technical stuff. I mean, I'd always liked coloring, and I have a couple of kind of naturally weird things about how I always had to line up my textures and pencils in exactly the same way, and later I found out that that was actually the spectrum of colors of the rainbow. But I mean, I started at yellow because to me that seemed lighter. So it would be the Roy G. Biv, which I now line up my paints in that order. Like I've got these little paint pots, which is kind of cool. I'm just gonna flip over this little sand timer so that I know how long I'm babbling on here for. I think we'll find out if it's 20 minutes or 30 minutes, but that will be in future reference, roughly how long I plan to make these podcasts. Anyway, podcasts? YouTube videos. Might make a podcast too. Anyway, so, where was I? Oh yes, I just kind of connected with the canvas, you know, like just feelings. It wasn't like anything that I could really explain in words, because it was just the feeling, that being in the moment, and just somehow emotionally connecting with the art piece. I did not have any thoughts of like, you know, whether I could sell it or like whether I had any intentions or anything, and I just felt it and it just poured out of me, and this is what happened. Now, as a child I always did like coloring, right? And as I was mentioning, I always like to organize my colors nice and neatly, so I've got like all my paints like all here, which so I do have a little bit of like that natural kind of talent and interest in painting and art. I love working with acrylics, and you'll find here that I'm usually working with these acrylics. So I particularly like working with the metallics there, and I'm covering up the brand names because I'm not sponsored or anything. I'm not affiliated particularly with any brand. I do have I suppose I do have a favorite brand that I'm currently using, but the point is I use acrylics because I like to work in layers. So what you might find here is like there's a layer of white underneath, a layer of pink, and there's like, and so you get this like lovely blotchy kind of texture. I like texture. I really like getting these layers upon layers. And with acrylic, you get control over the translucency with being able to add waters and mediums and things like that. Plus it dries a lot faster than the oil. And I find with oil, because that like when you try to layer it with the oil, you kind of, it's hard not to make it go really muddy. And you kind of have to, like, because I have actually worked with oil before and it did not go well, but I kind of understand why people for portraits and things like that would use oil, because you can actually start building up like the entire like whiteness of the skull, the layers of the muscles and sinews, and then start getting that nice creamy yellowy skin tone, right? And like to you can get that kind of level of translucency. And whereas this one, well, as you can see, when I do put a color over the top, it actually is like far more opaque, and so it's a bit more of a bolder brush. So I keep saying okay, so my goal is gonna be to stop saying so much on these videos. I actually wanted to go live for these videos because a couple of things are, I wanted to make this a little more interactive. I wanted to have you guys have some input and like run some polls and things about, like, you know, picking colors for things, like what your reflections and thoughts are on the projects as I work on them. Again, because I like working with layers, I will often work on several pieces of canvas at the same time. So I will not go just like one project all the way through, because that way while one is drying, I can start working on the next one. And I very often get that, like, as I'm working on the next one, I get an idea for the one that I was previously working on. So like the ideas are just constantly cooking and like stir frying in my brain. And so I do have 3 particular ones that I wanted to make. Abstract is the one that I usually do. I am going to be developing well, I have made a previous one. If any of you have seen my short film, The Price of Art, which I will at some point upload on the channel if it isn't already there, I did have a painting that was at the end that it was abstract, but it did have the symbolism of a heart on wings, with like a stony bottom being lifted out of water. So I kind of want to incorporate that kind of symbolism in my artworks. So I'm developing what I call abstract symbolism. So it's mostly abstract, but there are some kind of very iconic symbols within that abstraction. And that is very whimsical, very flowy stuff, so I do want to continue to do that. That is going to be pretty much what one of my major paintings is going to be on, which I will do on this canvas over there. Yes. Oh, I'm going to make a welcome sign as well. That's another thing we're going to do, so that every time I start another thing, what I wanted to do, and I was just saying that I wanted to do this live so that I could ask you straight away on color options and opinions. I wanted to make the welcome sign as a community project where everybody gets to say, oh, we're gonna make the W like in bright red, or like and I would ask chat, would you like red, blue, yellow, you know, anyone have any ideas of what pattern we're gonna draw on it, you know, things like that. And together we would make a welcome sign that like everyone would have, like, you know, a say in and a part of, which I wanted to do live, so that way everyone could have, like, in real time participated. But since I don't have enough subscribers on my channel, I can't do that. So I really need everyone to try to like, share, and subscribe. Really, please share with your friends. Hopefully everyone can join in, and that way I can get to do this live. But in the meantime, what I will do is I will start I'm going to write the word welcome on here with, I don't have any water. Oh well. I should be more organized with this stuff. Okay, so I'm just gonna do this we'll do this in bright orange. I won't do it in black because black is like impossible to actually paint over. Like, the black will show through. The black will show through. So we'll just write welcome in orange. And okay, so people, when they think painting, they think, oh, you have to use a brush. You can use the back of the brush. You can use, I like to use from the actual tube sometimes. There's like sculpting things, like, so I will be letting everyone know like all these tips and tricks to actually painting if anyone wants to like join and actually start doing some painting, anyone feels like inspired. But generally what I'm going to be doing on this channel is, this is going to be like mostly a just chatting kind of channel where it's just chill, and again, if we were live, I would be able to like ask questions, have you ask me questions, and we could just chat and enjoy chatting about things. But what we're gonna do is, I'm just gonna write welcome on here like this, right? And then people in the comments, which I believe YouTube does it below at this current point in time when I'm making this video, put in the comments what you'd like to add to the sign. If you'd like me to add, say, you know, a star somewhere, or, you know, love hearts, or, you know, but like, you know, you can get weird too. You can get weird. You can have tentacles and cats, and but I do request that we keep it, you know, PG, clean, friendly for all the family. So there's that. So if you put that in the comments of what you might want me to add to the welcome sign, I will try to add it. I will pick out a few every episode, and we'll slowly make this sign our sign. This is gonna be our sign. So again, I'm gonna put this aside so that it can properly dry. Particularly if I have done like tube work like this, it will take a while to dry because it's quite thick. So pops out of there. So a couple of other things to look forward to is that I'm going to be doing a abstract symbolism piece of my favorite streamer, my current favorite streamer. I say current because I only really discovered them. I'm going to be careful not to reveal their gender just yet. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you guys to keep guessing and try to keep guessing who they are, and see if you can guess from the symbols. And see how long that takes you all. Now, so that's another little fun activity that I would like to do. And again, if we were live, we could do that in real time. But I will definitely be checking the comments, so please feel free to add them, and I will address them either in the next episode or leading up to it. So yes, portrait of a streamer is one of the other projects that we are going to look at. And now, on a slightly somber note, I am going to make a piece that is inspired by my dearly departed cat who passed away a couple weeks ago. His name was Pavel. He's absolutely beautiful. He was like this lovely little ginger redhead. These are some of the reference photos I'm going to be using, because I am going to attempt to paint a portrait of my cat. He was a very well loved cat. He was a good cat. I'm going to start showing up over this. As I'm sure everybody else in the world has been going through a tough time, I too have been through a tough time. I've lost touch with a lot of people, particularly during the time that I actually did get COVID. And I've had the long COVID because I had a previous asthma, and I'm getting a little long in the tooth, so I'm getting a little old. And so it's hit me quite hard. I'm actually I do struggle and get dizzy and overexerted quite easily, so I have been basically a home shut-in. And so I've lost contact with a lot of people, and I lost my cat, which my parents and I have just been grieving immensely. My mum particularly, she absolutely loved this cat with all her heart. She kept saying that before we had this cat, we did have a previous cat, and the previous cat bonded with me. The previous cat was my cat. But Pavel was Mum's cat. Well, she kept on saying, do not get a cat. We do not want another cat. We don't want another cat. Do not get a cat. And then she went on a meditation retreat in Vipassana. And she went there for like 2 weeks, and I was like, hee hee hee, I'm totally gonna get a cat. And my classmate, from my IT class, he happened to have a cat that had kittens. And so I was like, hee hee hee, I'm going to get one of his kittens. Yes, I am. And I was like, this time I want to get a ginger cat. So I went there, and yeah, lo and behold, his cat actually had different colored kittens. There was one little tuxedo cat. She was really cute. And like, I think Pavel was quite close to his sister. He kept on like kind of following her around, which was so adorable. But basically, as soon as I saw him, I was like, I am in love with this cat. I have to get him. So we got Pavel. I brought him home. I set up like his cat litter and everything, and I made sure that he went to the vet, got deep fleed because he had fleas. The poor thing was itching a lot. But you know, we got the medication that you put on them to like make sure they don't have fleas or worms or anything like that, and we even put some of it in the cup and that so that it wouldn't catch on other things. You know, we got him immunized for everything, and you know, properly. And just, you know, made sure that he was like all safe and healthy and in tip-top condition, and microchips, all that sort of thing. So I brought him home, and I had him settled in over these 2 weeks, and I was like, shh, don't tell Mommy. But Mum had a wonderful experience on the meditation camp. She came back all calm and with her chakras open, and you know, the second she walked in the door, seriously, Pavel ran up to her. It was like the slow motion romantic, like, you know, like, you know, those romantic moments where they slowly run towards each other. And she just scooped him up in her arms, and she was like, yes, I love this cat. And that was it. The two of them were like totally inseparable. They were, Pevy always follows her around the house all the time. Mum would always set up these little beds and everything, particularly like, see, this blue, Pevy really liked the blue blankets, the blue ones. So, yes, he was a very precious part of our family. So we are very sad for the loss of him. And I will be trying to paint. I'm going to try to make it as hyper-realistic as possible, to really, like, you know, push and challenge my art skills, and to try to properly represent him, and just to, like, you know, see how well I can do with the hyper-realistic painting. So, and, you know, I'm going to be real ambitious about this and do it on a really nice, big piece of canvas. This one, it's a 60 by 90, just for comparison's sake. So this is like my usual sized one. See, it's smaller. Like, so this was my first one. So I'm not really sure how big this is off the top of my head. And I'll work with small ones, like, what's this one? This one's an 11 by 20. Oh wait, that's a 30 centimeter by 60 centimeter. Oh yeah. Alright, inches is totally different, isn't it? Yes, so this 30 by 60 centimeter, and this one is a 60 by 90. So much bigger. Yeah. So that's what we have to look forward to in this channel. few projects, and hopefully everybody can get involved. And so please, you know, let me know. Let me know what you would like on the welcome canvas. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Okay. Have a great day. Bye.